What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and it's time. I wanted to share with you a really cool mod for the new iPhone X that allows you to get a clear glass back using a very interesting technique. So by interesting, I mean probably difficult. No one will ever do this, but it still looks kind of cool and you kind of want to do it. Anyways, I've done this on the iPhone 6 and I've done this on the iPhone 8. It's a very interesting result. You get to see into the phone, something that Apple definitely doesn't let you do. But this time around, I wanted to do it on the iPhone X, but a less destructive way. So this way we'll preserve the wireless charging because all you can see through this little port is the battery and maybe a little bit of the internals. So I'm going to skip removing the wireless charger, but with the iPhone X, I think it'd be a really cool result because the internals might look a little bit different. They do look cool in the pictures, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and do the clear glass mod on the iPhone X. And I don't believe this has been attempted by anybody yet, so this will be a first. And I'm not saying it's easy, definitely not saying you should do it. You will lose your warranty, but if you wanted to make your iPhone X stand out from the crowd, this would probably be a good way to do that, I guess. All right, let's get right into it. All right, so the first thing you guys want to do is remove the back. Definitely much simpler said than done. I struggled on this one, but I did manage to do it by bending the frame of my phone, which I think is a little less destructive than dipping your phone into liquid nitrogen like I did last time. So I'm totally joking, guys. You probably won't be doing this, but if you did, you would probably be doing it the right way, heating up the edges, wedging a little pry tool in between, and gently prying off the rear glass without having to bend your phone frame. So once you guys have that achieved, and by the way, I'll show you guys how to do that right now. So we're just gonna use a little heat, and I definitely don't recommend you guys do this for yours because you don't want to heat the battery area. So just gonna heat the adhesive in order to hopefully remove this back glass in one piece. All right, I've got it in there. Now just to continue heating. All right, that's like butter when you heat it, actually. It's gonna go all the way down the line. Let's take a look at inside the iPhone X. And by the way, this is totally destroying the water resistance of the iPhone X, so do not do this to your poor iPhone X. Don't let it be a test subject. Okay, pretty much got it. So camera piece should now just pop off. Okay, and this is a really bad way to do this, but I wanted to shortcut my way into it. All right, sensor is off and I should be able to get the glass off now, making that clear mod completely possible. I really hope I don't blow this phone up right now. I'm scared. Oh, yes, I got it. And I didn't destroy this. I almost did. Okay, well, this may look like a mess. It is. This is exactly what I was trying to achieve. So I got the glass off, and now the clear iPhone X mod is going to be possible. Anyway, so once you do have that back cover popped off, and yes, the camera is separate, so make sure not to crack it like I did crack mine. But you guys want to go ahead and set these apart. And this is what it's going to look like on the back. You scraped off a lot of glue to get here, and if you guys didn't, by some miracle, crack the back glass, you can buy them pretty cheap on eBay. Actually, there's a lot of replacements for like under $10 even. This is what it will look like on the inside. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and clean up all this glue or the residue, remove it, and I will not be removing the wireless charge pad because I think that gives it, you know, obviously the functionality, but a really cool aesthetic as well as the one on the iPhone 8. You know, there's not much to see behind it, so there's no point of removing it. Also, yeah, basically just gonna clean this up. It already looks pretty dang good. And then this is the hard part. So in order for you to get a clear glass back, you're gonna have to scrape away all of this vinyl. I would recommend some razor blades, of course a grip to hold them with, but one that is a carbide tipped one, so it'll be sharper, and that way you can actually remove all the vinyl and preserve the Apple logos without scratching them. So once I get there, I'll show you guys, but let's go ahead and get started. And yeah, this will not be easy. I think it'll be a really cool result though on the iPhone X. All right, time-lapse time. All right, so first things first is I'm gonna use some goof off to try and remove as much of the residue as I can from inside, cleaning it up in here because I'm gonna be looking in on this. You want it to look good. Okay, I'd say that cleaned up pretty nicely. So now that that's clean, we can start focusing on the rear shell. So I'm gonna go ahead and start stripping this down, and it's done with a razor and a lot of time. Start in one corner, and this stuff isn't really difficult to remove. It just takes a lot of scraping, as long as you have a sharp blade and some time to kill. And I know I'm just talking to myself here, who's even gonna be doing this? But just so you know, it does take some time. And yeah, start at the corner and start working your way down from there. Now, something I noticed different about this one is if you look over here, I'm actually gonna bring this up a little bit closer. There is a weird yellowish film behind the vinyl, and that's not something I saw on the iPhone 8. So I'm wondering if that has any sort of significance, some sort of layer against UVs or something, but it's a little different. And not only do you have to scrape off the vinyl, you have to scrape off that little coating there as well. And I'm really not sure what that is. Some sort of anti-reflectivity maybe, but yeah, just wanted to share that with you. Something a little bit different from the iPhone 8. I got some backup. Let's see if one of these scrapers helps at all here. Oh wow, it actually does. Should have thought of this before. Yeah, that actually works so much better. So do buy yourself a scraper if you're gonna be doing this on your own. You guys actually wanna be really careful around this camera lens cover. There's a very thin amount of glass that goes around here. It's very brittle. I chipped a tiny little fragment off, so I know it's super brittle here. Just be very gentle, all the 5 of you that will be trying this. All right, so once we've alienated the Apple logo, as you can see, it's on its own. Replace the blade. You want it as sharp as possible, and the best way to get it without erasing the Apple logo underneath, as it's printed directly onto the glass, is just to really slowly just scrub with a really sharp blade. You want to add an angle. Looking good. So I just cleared the top Apple logo layer, and not a single scratch behind it. So I've perfected this technique. Literally just wiggle both sides. Sweet. So check that out. That looks absolutely perfect. You got the Apple logo there, not a single scratch on it. This time I managed to get it off flawlessly. So clean it up underneath here. Excited to see that in action, but same goes for the bottom text. Just very gently go over it. And you guys will have a flawless Apple logo once you uncover it. And by the way, scrubbing on that film, it does create a white dust. It's very interesting. More than positive it's some sort of anti-reflectivity, but it was not on the iPhone 8, and on this one, it's here. So I just thought that was really interesting. Just scrubbing, it gives you this little white film from it. All right, and we're wrapping it up. So last text remaining, I cut all around it, as you can see. Basically same thing, just go ahead and scrape with a brand new blade, edge to edge, at an angle, so that way you're not scratching the actual text, and it comes off pretty cleanly, as long as you're slow. Also, not a single scratch on the text. Super happy about that. So looks really good with the Apple logo and text unscratched. It almost looks OEM. So there's a lot of that weird film left. It kind of gives it this weird glow, as you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and scrape it off as evenly as possible, and we're ready to reinstall. All right, so completely finished now with clearing the back. Now to reinstall the camera lens. Unfortunately, it will not stay, as we actually had to pop all those rivets out, little tiny ones, when removing it, but a little super glue will do. So I'll dab a little bit around the edges on the inside and make sure it stays in place. And there it is, guys. I think it looks fantastic. You can see straight through it, no impurities, no scratches. It looks so good. So ready for reinstallation. Let's go ahead and pop it back on. You can use some glue, or ideally some sealant to get the edges all covered in, so to get the waterproofing resistance somewhat back. But yeah, if you're doing this, pretty much forget about your warranty, forget about the water resistance. All right, guys, there it is. That is the finished product. As you guys can see, actually looks pretty dang cool. So you get to see the internals of the iPhone 10, the wireless charging, and a little bit up here. So mostly the shielding, there's really not much to see, but at least you kept the Apple logo and the iPhone text. So a little thing that you can do to actually make this a little bit better is to use the new iFixit wallpapers that document the inside of your iPhone. So that way you literally have a completely transparent phone, almost. So you can see the inside here and the inside here. Set it as your wallpaper. It actually looks super cool. And this is accurate. This is the inside of the iPhone, the L-shaped battery, bigger little fat Taptic engine down here. Pretty cool. So all in all, I'd say this was worth it for me, but for anyone else, you will lose your water resistance, you will lose your warranty, and possibly risk breaking your device. So would I recommend doing this? Probably not. Does it look cool? Definitely would say so. So there is the iPhone 10 clear glass mod. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future in terms of mods. I have a glowing Apple logo mod still planned for this and the 8, so I'll update you guys on that. But for now, I think this was pretty dang cool. Pretty cool result. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more. And by the way, this wallpaper can be found down below in the description. I'll link it. Pretty dang cool.